first and foremost, your reaction to this report. Does it go far enough? Is it honest enough?
I could have written this report 12 years ago. It should not have taken 12 years for it. But it's not just a report. This is about lives destroyed, years and years of fighting for the truth to finally be told. But it's also more than that. You know, Amber and Ruby and Daisy and all the children that I have supported over the year and that the Maggie Oliver Foundation now supports, they've allowed me to tell their stories, to bring change for the future. This isn't just about Rochdale. It could be any victim of sexual violence, any child victim of abuse who fights to be heard, who gets dismissed, who gets blamed. But more than that, it is about a story about the lack of accountability, the abuse of power of those in positions of trust, the lack of protecting a victim, of listening to them, of hearing them. And what I am very keen to say is that, you know, we are hearing today all these apologies about the failures of the past. My work in the Maggie Oliver Foundation is about working with victims today. And those victims today are experiencing many of the same failures that these victims, that are like my own children now, experienced 10, 15 years ago, and that is a national scandal. And the thing that I really want to focus on as well is the lack of a competent, professional, working complaints procedure. Police at the moment are marking their own homework. Complaints go to the professional standards. They are occasionally referred to the IOPC, but they don't even get sight of them. They go back to the individual police force. Unless victims have a place to go when the system is going wrong, we are no further forward. This case fell apart because resources were not put into it. It was not prioritised. This is about decision-making at the top of these organisations, not about people who are doing their job at the bottom. And we need to change things. I could be Mr. Bates. GMP and actually police forces throughout the country could be the post office, because they hide and they cover up what is going on, and we need a radical overhaul of the whole system so we have truly independent scrutiny that prevents a scandal like this happening again, because they are repeatedly happening.
That was going to be my next question, about whether you fear something of this scale could happen again. I mean, both the head of the GMP and the council leader for Rochdale suggested that you know, the people previously to blame are no longer in charge. I think with the words those responsible are long gone, said Neil Emmett, the council leader. Do you think we've made half of the progress needed to ensure that this doesn't happen again, or just a tiny amount of progress? What level of changes have been put in place already versus those that are needed?
We need radical changes. The value of me is that because of my work with the foundation now, we are dealing with cases today, not historical cases. And the same problems exist. You know, I would encourage everyone to watch out for the Baird Review, which will be reporting probably within the next 2 months. That is about current failures, about victims being criminalised, being blamed, being sidelined and silenced. They are problems of today, and the system to address these problems and this corruption at the time that it is happening do not exist. I should not have had to lose my job, to resign, to speak up publicly, to get this report and this acknowledgement of what was wrong 12 years ago. That is wrong, and not every victim will have an opportunity. I would say that if I hadn't resigned and I didn't know from the inside what had gone wrong, this report would never have happened. Because if you look in the report, many of the officers and ex-officers who were approached for statements to be interviewed refused. Power lies in the hands of the organisations, and they have no willingness and no desire to share that. They are more interested in protecting the organisations for which they work rather than getting to the truth. I am the complete opposite. I have already lost everything. I have nothing to gain by telling lies. This report, as much as vindicating all the children who were failed, vindicates me as a person too. And I hope that reassure the public that when I do say something, I am not doing it for my own ends. I am doing it because the truth needs to be told. Many people, like the Chief Constable, like the head of the council, they are doing a job, and protecting the reputation of those organisations is their primary concern. Mine isn't. My primary concern is to give victims who are otherwise being silenced a voice, to ensure that the truth comes through. And let me tell you, it is a battle, because every obstacle possible is put in the way of that truth. It is only through the media shining a spotlight, like the drama did on 3 Girls, or like the post office scandal did, that you truly begin to see the depths to which these organisations will stoop in order to prevent that truth from coming out. This report is vindicating, it is truthful, it is honest. I am grateful to Andy Burnham for ordering it, and I am eternally grateful to Gary and Malcolm, the authors of this report, for sticking to their guns and ensuring that the truth lies in those pages.
Maggie Oliver, thank you so much for joining us.